Taurus. It's a Scorpio Stellium here, your no bullshit tarot card reader. We're going to get into the week of October 25th through the 31st for you. I'm also going to teach you a little tarot along the way. I'm going to show my work like our math teachers told us to do. I'm going to bring the astrology into the game as well. And at the end, I will do a pick a card for you for what your message from the universe is. I won't just tell it to you. I'll let you choose your own, okay? Let's see what you got here this week, Taurus. Okay. We've got the reverse Two of Cups, the Magician, and the reverse Seven of Pentacles starting off. Reverse Five of Wands, 10 of Cups, 7 of Wands. The Lovers, reversed King of Pentacles, reverse Strength. Oh my God. This is a lot of love. This is a lot of conflict in love. This is going to be interesting. So let's start breaking it down. I'll get my clarification deck ready because we're going to be doing some clarifying. Okay, so we start off the beginning of the week with the reverse Two of Cups. So here is a relationship that is not going like you want it to. When I say relationship, I mean any involvement with you and another person. So this can be somebody you are actually in a committed relationship with or not, but the separation, the difficulties within this relationship are really the main line for this story. I mean, what I hit with, what I start out with in the beginning of the week being the reverse Two of Cups, here you are feeling like you want this relationship to be, you want it to be upright, okay? You want this card to be upright because you want this relationship to be where it's supposed to be, and it's just not. And then we're going to get into the reasons why and what's really going on here. We have the Magician next to it. This to me looks like you know what needs to be done. You have all of the power to make things happen the way that you want them to. So the power, the ball really is in your court for what you want to make happen. I'm not sure why you're not making it happen yet. So we'll get into this, Taurus. But it looks like there is an answer that is close at hand that maybe you don't want to see, because here with the reverse Seven of Pentacles, you put all of this work into something and you are not getting the payoff. You're not getting the fruit of your labor, so to speak. It's like, why did you go through all of this if you're not going to get anything? I think that's kind of the question that you're wrestling with right now. The Seven of Pentacles has this Saturn in Taurus meaning with the astrology, okay? So the astrology is very important to understand here because Taurus, your sign, is about comfort. It is about beauty. It is about simplicity, but enjoying those simple, beautiful things in life. It's ruled by Venus. And we have Saturn there. Saturn is the greater malefic, okay? It's a difficult planet in astrology. It is the planet that teaches us our hard life lessons, but it's also like the brakes in your car, okay? So it's literally putting the brakes on your comfort, your peace of mind, your security, because Taurus loves their security. And we have this Magician right in the middle, which is pretty interesting because this is still giving me a clue that it's like you've got more power than you feel like you have here. And there's a lot of mental process going on around this situation for you this week because Mercury is the planet associated with the Magician. And Mercury is all about logic, speaking, reasoning, thinking, okay? It's everything that starts up here in the brain and comes out of the mouth, all right? So now we are going to move down into the middle of the week. With the reverse Five of Wands is the first card we're going to start talking about. This is something you don't want to fight for anymore, is what this is talking about. It's the conflict, the bickering, the aggravation of something. It's not like a big full-on like, fuck you, man, you know, get out of my face. It's not quite that heavy. It's more of a like, you know, like, I just don't want to do this. I don't want to struggle with this. And what do you not want to struggle with? Interesting. The Ten of Cups right next to it. The Ten of Cups is this happy relationship, okay? So what my question to you now is, why are you afraid of happiness? Because I know that this is one of those readings that is very specific. And it's not going to resonate with everyone. And I'm going to come back through and I'm going to tell you another way you can view this. But I'm going to tell you the way that I'm seeing it first, because that's what my job is. So I'm going to do my job. The Ten of Cups is where we make it look like everything is perfect. Everything is great. I've got my little family. I've got my house. I've got my, everything is great for me, right? And I'm so happy here. But underneath it, there is this current of, I don't want to struggle. I don't want to do this. Okay, you're dissatisfied with all of the blessings that you have in your life. It's almost like it's not enough for you this week. I know, I'm being really mean to you, Taurus. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you what I see. And then the Seven of Wands next to it. Okay, so in this line, in the middle of the week, you decide, though, that you've got to keep fighting for it. You realize that if this relationship is to go where it's supposed to go, whatever significant relationship that you're struggling with right now is supposed to be where you know it needs to be and get the attention that it deserves, you're going to have to stand up for it. That's the Seven of Wands. You're going to have to keep up, the fight and not the fight in the bickering, nasty kind of way, but you're going to have to fight for it. You're going to have to put that energy into action, because right now I feel like there's a lot of inaction on your part. And I see this because of this reversed Seven of Pentacles. Okay, this is like the person that gets really excited in the springtime to plant their garden, and they're like, I'm gonna have all these vegetables, it's gonna be great. And then they do all their weeding and their planting and their, everything they need to do, and then they just kind of are like, this isn't really producing like I thought it was going to. So halfway in the middle of the season, they just go, That's how I'm feeling you're doing it. I'm like, You don't want to put the work in that you need to put into it to make it happen. So I think for some of you, this is a committed relationship that you know how to correct it, but you don't really want to put the work into it. You want to just go on acting like everything is okay when it's really not. It really needs some work. For some of you, this is the relationship where you're wanting this. You're wanting this. Everything is happy. Everything is good. I feel comfortable and at home and surrounded by love. Because the Ten of Cups, you guys, I beat up on it a little bit in a lot of my readings, because I know the astrology behind it being Mars and Pisces is not quite as pretty as all the pictures that are painted on the cover of it. But it is a nice card, okay? It is supposedly the satisfaction, the emotional satisfaction that we all yearn for and we all look to. Sometimes when you actually get there, you get a little bored with it. So that's why I kind of beat up on the Ten of Cups. But the point is, you guys do want this happiness. Everybody wants this happiness. And if you're going to make it from this disjointed, disconnected, separation, crappy kind of situation with the person that you're thinking of and that you're missing or that you're wanting things to be better with, you're going to have to take the actions that you need to take. You're going to have to stop being so stubborn. Isn't the right word. It's stubborn in the fact of like, you think that you're not going to have to do anything and you're still going to get the result that you want to get. And that's just not how life works. It's not propelled forward by inaction. That's how we stay stuck. So the last line here is the Lovers. And I told you, I'm like, damn, this reading has got so much. All of the cards that I like are all about the love, the magic, the chemistry are all here. They're just surrounded by a bunch of bullshit. Okay? I mean, these are the cards for soulmates. These are the cards for the one. These are the cards for the happily ever after. They're beautiful cards. So the image that I'm getting is actually you are hardcore in love. And you know that this is true. Like, you know that this is the person that you want to be with, that you're meant to be with. But you feel like you can't, I think you feel like your effort is not going to pay off for some reason. Because I have the reverse King of Pentacles And then I have the reverse strength down at the bottom. So it seems like you're feeling that your effort is not going to pay off, or maybe you don't have the staying power, which, I mean, Taurus is usually a very loyal sign, but I don't know what your Venus is. I don't know what your Mars is, so we're not going to get into that. But Taurus as a sun sign is considered loyal. But you feel like you don't have the stamina to keep going in the same vein that you've been going, that this relationship has been going. The reverse King of Pentacles is interesting here because this is an earth sign. This is the earth signs, you, Taurus, in your power, okay? But it's reversed here. So I think there's a fear of a loss of power. And I don't know if you feel like you're giving your power to someone else if you put some work into this or make a plan or make some effort. I'm not sure what this fear is, but it's like you fear the loss of your own being in charge, you know, being in charge of your life. And it looks like it's just being threatened. It's just being threatened. So what's the deal here? What are you going to do about this? This is where I want to just be like, y'all, like, comment to me so I know what's going on, because I get invested in these stories. Okay, let's start clarifying. We're going to first clarify this reverse Two of Cups. I mean, this is one of those readings I'm going to have to clarify a lot because, and when I say clarify, it's really like I'm going to get more information. I've gotten like the first sentence of the paragraph, and now I got to fill it all in. So that's what we're going to do. Let's look at Two of Cups. What are we going to get with that? Temperance. Okay. Temperance is about patience and reconciliation. Okay, temperance is the right mixture that you need for this little cocktail of love here. So I'm feeling that the two of you have both got to put your own ideas in. You've both got to be heard. And then you have to actually acknowledge what each other is saying, because there is not a lot of acknowledgement. One person is not being heard, either you, Taurus, or the other person. And so that is creating this reverse Two of Cups, this trouble in love. So here we're going to have to be patient with one another. We're going to have to be kind. We're going to have to come at this from the angle of, if we both don't win, nobody wins. Let's look at the Magician, because here's where I'm feeling like, you know, you have all the power. Like, you actually do, because the Magician is the manifester. The Magician is the one who controls what's happening, okay? He's got all of this energy for making things the way that he wants them. It's the composer of the orchestra, right? So you're composing. Jesus, Taurus, what am I going to do with y'all? Clarifying the Magician is the Lovers. Okay? It's like, it's just all like going around and around and around and like reiterating itself. I'm getting like little goosebumps because it's just, it's so much. It's so much. Clarifying the Magician of, you know what you need to do. You know how to make this relationship what it needs to be. And let me just tell you a little fun fact about the Lovers card, which is associated with the sign of Gemini, just FYI. But the Lovers card is not just about lovers. It's not just about soulmates. It's not just about that ultimate happiness and that one, you know, being with one person, the joining of two souls that everybody wants it to be. It's also about fucking choices, Taurus. So with the Magician, you have to make a fucking choice. Are you in or are you out? What are you going to do about it? If you're in, are you going to actually put the work in with Temperance here, okay, where you're both bringing something to the table and you're both being patient and kind and accepting of each other's ideas and where the other person is at? Are you paying attention to how this situation is also affecting them? And I know a lot of you are going to be like, yeah, no, they're shitty to me, or they left me, or we're not talking, or we're in separation, or they did this to me, they did that to me. Okay, barring the fact that they actually were a complete asshole to you, barring that, I'll give you that. If that's you, you're excused from this lecture. But it takes two to get to these kinds of places. And I see so much love and so much potential. I mean, this person you're thinking of is the fucking person you're supposed to be with. And there is this just petty shit standing in your way where you feel like you don't want to give up your power. You're not sure if you're strong enough to do it. You aren't putting in the effort that you need to put in. But other than that, this is your person. So you know what? A lot of times I tell people, I'm like, you're going to have to go apologize and make things right. And they're like, they did this to me. They were ugly to me. And I'm like, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? All right, let's clarify the reverse 7 of Pentacles. If y'all are still with me, if you're not mad at me, you're like, that salty bitch. Okay, 7 of Pentacles reversed, clarified by the Queen of Cups. Okay, you're projecting. You're projecting a lot of your own fears and insecurities onto somebody else. Your emotions, even if they're positive, you're feeling like it may be the other person who is not really putting the work in. It's the other person that's making this so difficult. It's the other person that is being challenging or trying to be argumentative or making things hard for you. And you're blaming them because I know it's hard to see these cards from a distance, but the Queen of Cups, water of water. Okay, think of... I know you can't really do this with water, so think of a mirror. Think of what happens if you hold a mirror up to a mirror, because this is the Queen of Cups. She's water of water. That's her association here. It's emotions of emotions. So what happens when you hold the mirror up to the mirror? They reflect back what? Nothing. It's endless, just bouncing off of each other. So it's you projecting, you reflecting, you seeing what you think is there in the other person, but I don't feel like you're really hearing them out the way that you need to be hearing them out. I feel like you are putting a lot more on them than is really truly fair. Now I want to say, again, this can all go both ways. It can be the other person that is doing this to you, but I'm going to say, be very, very careful before you come to that conclusion, because before we need to point our finger at anyone else, we always need to take a good, long, hard look at ourselves. So that's my disclaimer. Okay, clarifying the reversed 5 of Wands. We have the 4 of Wands. We have the 5 of Wands. I love it when cards clarify themselves. It's just like, yeah, we're not going to give you any information. You already know what the answer is. Okay, so having this Venus in Aries here, okay, with the 4, this is a reconciliation, but you have to accept what the limitations are of your circumstances, of this situation. This may not be exactly how you want it to be, and the more you focus on what the problem is, the further you get from the solution. So I see the reconciliation happening. I see you and this other person committing to one another to work through it. How could you not? With this kind of reading, seeing the Lovers twice, because I have 2 decks out, seeing, the 10 of Cups, seeing the reverse 2 of Cups. I mean, this is a relationship that fate has already ordained it. And if it's already declared that this is what's going to happen, you're not going to stop it. I mean, I tell people they have free will. You do have free will. But there are certain people that you have got to learn your karmic lesson with. And whatever that lesson is that the universe wants you to have under your belt before you move on, you're going to learn it. So in any case, whether this makes you happy or not, I don't care, because it's here. You are going to reconcile with this person. They are going to come back like full force into your life the way that it was in the good days, whatever that is for you guys. The 5 of Wands is like you're gonna end up fighting for it instead of fighting against it, trying to resist it. You're going to have to learn how to, like I said, operate within your restrictions, because this is Saturn in Leo. Remember, Saturn is that restrictor. It's the brakes of the car. So when you have the 5 of Wands, it's like we have to figure out how to fight for something instead of against it. It's also a card, and I'm going to put that out there for some of you, it may be pertinent, that this may be an issue where there are other voices, or there's competition in this whole game, right? You may not be the only two people that are contributing to the problem. And so you might need to go and figure out, like, what else is the problem? And if it is a problem, like whether they're actually trying to do it intentionally or not intentionally, they're still keeping you from your full happiness. They're still keeping you from what your purpose is. And that's why you're miserable, is because you're trying to like keep everything how you keep it all status quo. And that's not going to work. You can't keep holding it up that way. You're one person. You're one person. All right. 10 of Cups. Let's clarify it. I don't want to play this game anymore. Okay. I have the reverse strength down at the bottom is associated with Leo, just so you know. Reverse strength associated with Leo. Clarifying the 10 of Cups. You're afraid to be happy here, aren't you? Yeah, I'm looking at you. You're afraid of being happy here. Why? Are you afraid it's going to just go wrong? Are you afraid that there's some like karma that you've got coming? Are you afraid you don't deserve it? Because I don't know that life really plays by your rules. And if there's an opportunity for you to be happy, you got to take it. You got to take it. You're afraid. There's fear. 7 of Wands. Let's clarify. Okay, the Aeon, which is essentially talking about rebirth. Okay, it's essentially talking about how, just like I said, there is a reconciliation. So something is being brought back into your life because you've been turning away from it. And now you have to face it. You have to fight for it. You have to stand your ground this time. You can't run away again because you've been running, and that's getting you to the position that you're in. So this is the time that it's coming back for you to deal with it. For a lot of you, this is the person that you've been waiting for, that they're on their way back into your life because you still have things that need to be said. You have things that need to be handled. You can't move past this because the lesson's not been completed. And so you've got all this energetic push pulling you two back together, pushing the two of you back together. I'm not going to clarify the Lover's card. I've seen it enough this reading. I get it. Y'all are soulmates. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of chemistry. It's really gorgeous. I don't need to clarify it. All right. Reversed King of Pentacles. Okay. Clarified by the Hierophant. Ooh, ooh. That's Taurus's card, by the way. Are you afraid that if you commit to this, are you afraid of the actual commitment? Because this feels like, we're talking about clarifying this I don't want to lose my power kind of feeling. I don't want to lose my position. I don't want to lose how people see me as being this like I'm in charge of shit kind of person. And then the Hierophant is clarifying it. This card about commitment, this card about marriage. So that's why I say, are you afraid of the commitment or are you afraid of the loss of commitment? There is a fear surrounding it here. There's a fear of things that are associated with marriage and commitment. So, some people don't actually go down the marriage route. Maybe we're not talking about that specifically, but we are certainly talking about a very, very serious commitment where you're in it, you're full on in it. And I think that there's a fear here of how people are going to see you one way or the other having to do with this commitment. There's a fear of you losing your power. There is a fear of how this is going to look for you if this is going to threaten your position and your position, you're standing with other people, with your job, with whoever we're dealing with right here. So, okay, Taurus, I'm going to go ahead and pull your message from the universe if you are still watching and you're not furious with me right now, because I just laid it on you, you know? I just laid it all out there. That's what I'm here to do. Okay, so your message from the universe. I let you choose. I'm going to pick 3 cards. I'm going to tell you what they mean, but you're going to figure out which one is yours. So start thinking, you know, is it number 1, 2, or 3? You can also pause the video at any time, obviously, if you need a little bit more thinky time. I think I'm going to entitle this video Shit or Get Off the Pot. Y'all heard that saying, right? Shit or get off the pot. People love that, I'm sure. Okay, 1, 2, or 3. Ready? Okay. So for 1, you have the star. There's hope in this. There's obviously, I mean, I know there's hope in this because I've seen this whole thing, right? But this is reconciliation. This is the hope for the future. And this is like you've been through a storm and you may even be still going through that storm. But you're going to come out of it. And when you come out of it, it is going to feel so good. So, I mean, whatever you've got to do to hurry that along, I would do because this is a beautiful, beautiful feeling. This is where you know that you're on the right path. Okay, so the star. All right, for card number 2, we have the 2 of coins, aka the 2 of pentacles. This is where you are going to have to prioritize. You may be juggling more than one thing. And in that juggling, you're going to drop something. And you need to make sure that your priorities are aligned so that the most important things get handled first. The most important people are paid attention to, are given what they need. Sometimes we just think we're just going to keep putting things in and in and in. And it's like, okay, I don't have any more room. I can't do anything else. And this is where you're going to end up. You're right now in the brink of this balancing act where you're like, I don't know if I can keep holding it. So you're going to have to set something down. Set down what is not really serving you and set down what is not serving other people. You may not be serving someone else. You may think that you are, or you're at least trying to, but if you're not giving them everything, then you need to set that down. Okay, card number 3. The 6 of Swords. This is about you going on and finding something better. It's time to move forward. It's time to make progress. If you've been stagnant for too long, if you've been dealing with the same circumstances for too long, it's time to pull the trigger. It's time for you to go on and progress in the next stage of life. You can't sit here any longer. It's time to move, okay? All right, Taurus, I still love you. I hope you're not pissed at me. I hope you'll watch again next week, and I'll see you then.